All right. So this is chapter 9. Miss Pointy gets me where I live. Rachel's brother Freddie was to blame for our stomach flu. Rachel and I were taking turns holding him, cuddling him, kissing him. He's so chubby like a baby doll, we couldn't resist. Until he started throwing up. Then we handed him back to my aunt. 2 days later, Rachel and I were throwing up too. We were laying with our feet sticking in each other's faces on the sofa in my living room. Remember, Rachel is Sahara's cousin. Rachel's mama couldn't take off any more work, so my mom took a sick day to take care of us. The hours passed slowly. The drone of cartoons had become wearisome, and the flickering of the screen began to nauseate us. Freddie drooled in his playpen, not knowing or caring what he had done to us with his evil, germy cuteness. We tried entertaining ourselves by drawing pictures of each other. I stared at Rachel. Her hair looked like the bride of Frankenstein. Her eyes had half moons of green underneath, and the corners of her mouth had little fans of spittle. I didn't mention this. I imagined I looked the same. We showed each other our unimpressive work. Now what do you want to do? I asked her. I don't know. Rachel shrugged. We lay there weak and staring at each other, thinking the word that Miss Pointy had trained us not dare say aloud. Remember that swear word in Miss Pointy's class? B-O-R-I-N-G. Let's eat toast, I suggested. We ate our toast, crust first, then middle. Oh, Rachel said. Mom, I called. Mom came running in. She put her arms around Rachel and walked her to the bathroom. Strange, painful, wet cries drifted down the hallway. Pungent smells, and then a sound of teeth being brushed, toilet being flushed, Lysol being sprayed. Talk about show, not tell details. I'm glad they didn't go into more detail about that, but those are some great details there. Because we know what was happening. What was she doing? Throwing up, right? Rachel was walked back after a time looking like Kieri had given her the once over. Oh, Rachel sighed. Now what do you want to do, I asked. Sahara! Leave her be, Mom said, pulling over a pail within puke shot. Do you need one of these too? No, I don't think so, I said. I feel okay. Except when I look at her. Rachel smiled from the other end of the sofa, her eyes closed. Then she frowned and leaned over the pail. She made some noises, but nothing came out. Don't excite her. Read a book. Read to her. Do something quietly. Her toes are about 2 million degrees, I complained. I think I'm getting blisters where her toes are touching my legs. My mother felt Rachel's head. Oh, honey, she said, and she got her some Tylenol. Rachel swallowed the pills and took noisy, experimental sips from a glass of water. Noisy, experimental sips. Allow me to demonstrate. Again, those show not tell details. She could have just wrote she took a drink of water, but she didn't. She wrote she took some noisy experimental sips. Mom and I watched with interest. Nothing came up. Try to sleep, boo-boo. Then she turned to me. Now you let her sleep, she warned. After Mom left the room, Rachel lay with a cool rag on her forehead, moaning exotically. Hey, let's pretend you're sick. I am sick, she reminded me. No, really sick. We're sisters. Lost in the desert. Too hot. All right, the tundra. And I'm nursing you back to health on seal blubber and fish. Oh, Rachel leaned over the pail. Sahara! My mother's voice scolded from the kitchen. I whispered, it seems you're close to the end, but don't go on that ice drift, Rachel, quiet river flowing. Your betrothed Daryl, whose mother pounds, will be heartbroken. Rachel eyed me from over the pail. Make it Dominique, she croaked, leaning back into the pillows. I waited for her to ask me who I liked. The question never came. I'm your older sister. I have to get married first, I explained. Who will it be? Rachel snored delicately. At the other end of the sofa, Freddie shifted in his playpen, sucking on the paw of his worn-out teddy bear. I sighed, and I picked up Julie of the Wolves. Time moved more quickly with my book friends than my real friends, I noticed, a little sadly. I just want to point out, good authors, or I should say great authors, do this. They always give a shout out real subtly to other great books that you should read. Now, I haven't read this one, and every time I see it, I'm like, ooh, I should check that book out. Julie of the Wolves. Never heard of it before. But I'm curious, if she added it to her book, it must be good. If you've read the Ramona series, right, with Ramona and Beezus by Beverly Cleary, you know that's that's a classic children's book, and that's actually who this is, who the title page is, I can't even say it. The shout out or the thanks at the beginning, there's a name for it, I'm drawing a blank here. To Beverly Cleary, thanks. That makes me want to check out her as an author. There's a bunch of authors that add other authors within their books, and it's almost like a, hey, check this book out. Time moved quickly with my book friends, then my real friends, I noticed a little sadly. The doorbell rang. I heard my mother say, "Who is it?" into the intercom. "It's Madame Poitier," said the voice. "Miss Pointy." Miss Pointy? My mom couldn't hide her surprise. She buzzed her in. I buried myself under the blanket and I closed my eyes. I couldn't stand to see Miss Pointy, not after stealing Luz's sticker, even if she didn't know it was me. And then getting sick and missing school? Oh, it was too embarrassing. Too weak. I flopped my arm over the side of the sofa. Oh. Is she really asleep? No. "Sahara," Mom came in. I tried to breathe evenly. Mom clucked her tongue, believing I was asleep. She went out the door. "Miss Jones," I heard Miss Pointy's voice at the door. "Is Sahara here? I brought her homework." "That was nice of you," said Mom. "Especially since she doesn't do it, does she?" "Well, it's still hers to do or not to do." "I guess," said Mom. "She and Rachel are sleeping. Won't you come in, or are you on your way somewhere? Maybe somewhere special?" I suppose Mom had noticed her wardrobe. Miss Pointy must have been wearing one of her party dresses, or maybe her sparkling tiara. Her ankle-length leopard skin coat. I opened one eye, but I couldn't see anything. "I just came from somewhere special," said Miss Pointy. "I thought you were coming from school." "I am." "Oh," said Mom. "I'm sorry to intrude. I just wanted to drop this off. I know you weren't expecting me." "Oh, that's fine. I've been home with these 3 sick kids all day. I'm so bored." I cringed at the B word. "Come in for just a few minutes. I got marble cake," Mom said. I wondered if Mom had her by the arm. The door closed and I heard footsteps into the kitchen. The next room over, I heard the kettle bang on the burner. I heard the women sitting together, Mom taking drags on her cigarette. "Smoke?" "No thanks." "Did you quit?" "Oh, I never quit anything," Miss Pointy said. "I just finish." "I wish I could finish smoking," Mom said. "Finish what you start," said Miss Pointy. Good grief, I thought. How do teachers ever have friends outside of school if they always talk like teachers? Mom just laughed. "You're a real teacher, aren't you?" she said. "You having any luck with Sahara this year?" "Well, what do you mean?" "I mean, considering her history. You read her records, didn't you?" "No," said Miss Pointy. "I hate reading records. I never do it until the end of the year. Then it's fun. You can see if other people think you're right or wrong." Mom must have been giving her a strange look because she kept explaining, "If a kid is wild or slow or can't read, it'll show in good time. I have eyes. I don't need those records." Seems the records would save time, though. Not if they're wrong. The kettle sang. "So you haven't seen Sahara's file, huh?" said Mom. "Nope, I just see Sahara." "Well, what do you see?" I knew Mom was holding her breath a little bit. So was I. "She's going to be a writer," said Miss Pointy. I felt myself blow up suddenly like a balloon that had just been attached to a helium tank. "Is she?" Mom finally breathed. "What else?" "Sorry," said Miss Pointy. "That's all I know about her right now. She doesn't show me a lot." "Does she write for you?" "No, not really," said Miss Pointy. "This is good tea." "Then why do you say she's a writer?" "I didn't say she was a writer. I said she's going to be a writer. A writer writes. When she starts writing, she'll be a writer," Miss Pointy explained. "Oh," Mom sounded annoyed. "Well, maybe when she starts practicing rocket science, then she'll be a rocket scientist." "Maybe," said Miss Pointy in a muffled voice. Sounded like her mouth was full of cake. "Except I don't think she's going to be a rocket scientist. I think she's going to be a writer." "Well, what should I do with this great talent. Read to her. Even though she's a big girl, leave lots of pens and paper around the house. Give her lots of books to read to herself. Probably stuff you've been doing all along. You really haven't read that file, have you? Mom marveled. I thought I heard a little relief in her voice. You know she's been held back. Now it'll be great material, said Miss Pointy, her mouth full again. Great artists suffer. She keeps a journal at school, you know. She does? Said Mom. Can I read it? I lent her the money for the journal. She owes me $2, Miss Pointy said abruptly. Can you advance her? Now? Now's good. I wonder what Mom's face looked like fetching the money from her purse. Can I read it? Mom repeated. Sorry, her debt's paid. It's her journal now. You got to ask her, said Miss Pointy. Ooh, that was tricky, Miss Pointy. I bought her a notebook too, you know. Mom told her, lowering her voice. She keeps it in between her mattresses. I sneak to look at it. It's just blank pages and pages ripped out. Mom! Tisk tisk. Maybe she knows you're snooping. Don't be embarrassed. I like snooping too, Miss Pointy confessed. Me too, I thought. But either way, she wouldn't rip out blank pages, would she? She's probably writing something on them. Like letters, said Mom. I felt a pang. Sure, or stories, said Miss Pointy. Could be anything, really. Now, for those of you just joining us, what is Sahara doing with those pages of letters and things that she's writing? She's got a very specific plan here. AJ?
She's put them in her desk.
They're not going in the desk.
Oh, no.
She's going to the library and putting them behind the books.
Yeah, so she's going to the library and she's hiding them in a very specific place in the library. Anybody remember the name of that place? It's with the books about...
B section, wait, B something.
Maybe 409 or something. But what are those books about?
Drama, I think?
Close. It's about the world, about going to like special places or places of stories and books about somewhere else. And that's kind of a repeated theme through the book. So she's actually taking all these letters she writes and hiding them in the library. Did you have something you wanted to add?
I was going to say that it's about things that she had heard in the past and stuff.
Yeah, so she's got a very specific place that she's tearing out these pages, and we know that because she said it from the book, from the beginning of the book. She does love stories. Reads all the time here at home, Mom tattled. She'd rather read than play outside. She'd rather read than go anywhere. Well, that's not true. Why do you think I read? To go everywhere. She's got a great vocabulary, too. She talks like she could talk to the Queen of England. You don't got to sell me, Miss Jones, said Miss Pointy. I believe you. That's great. The women sipped their tea. Are you going to fail her? Mom asked finally. Oh, I've never failed a child, said Miss Pointy cheerfully. She, on the other hand, might fail herself. Maybe I failed her, Mom said quietly. I bit my lip, hearing Mom's voice tremble. She's a good girl, just a little freaked out. Sometimes she still comes in my room in the middle of the night. Is that normal at her age? Mom, do you have to tell her everything? I don't know if you catch it on, but these aren't things that she's actually saying. These are things she's actually thinking. And I know that Sarah is thinking them because in the book they're actually written in italics. So that shows me that that's what Sarah's thinking, not actually saying.
Oh,
So when she says, Mom, do you have to tell her everything? It's first person, so we know that's what Sarah's thinking while Mom is saying all that. Well, I guess if she's freaked out, said Miss Pointy. Mom didn't seem to be listening. Stuck in the apartment all day. You know how it is in the city. Maybe I could have made a better home, worked things out with her father. Excuse me, Miss Pointy broke in. May I be perfectly honest? You're a class act, Miss Jones, and you have nothing to feel bad about. I'll put it in your permanent record if you like. Good mother serves tea and cake without prompting, just a little freaked out. See Sahara Jones for details. My mom laughed, but it cracked like it might have been a choice between that and crying. I see why the children like you, said Mom. Compliments make me break out in a rash, Miss Pointy said. Please tell Sahara to get well soon, and Rachel too. After Miss Pointy left, Mom came in and dropped the homework on a coffee table and went back to the kitchen. I could hear her singing along with the radio. I tried to go to sleep for real, not because I felt tired, but because I felt sad, failing other people. I could just say sorry, but it hadn't occurred to me that I was failing myself. I didn't want to fail myself. I wouldn't know how to apologize for it. I sat up, Hidden in the pile of homework was my journal. I decided to do the assignment Miss Pointy had given us the day I stole Luz's sticker. I'm going to read what Sahara actually writes, but this is like word for word what she's writing, and I want you to know it's with perfect penmanship, great punctuation, and listen to the word choice and really, truly